Hey guys, my name is Andzej Gavriss and I want to share the inspiration behind my latest project called Malaria. A couple of years ago, I was editing my short film Veneno in Indonesia. It was a great sunny day. My wife Julija and I were on our way to the shop, and all of a sudden, I started feeling dizzy, weak, and having mini blackouts. Once we got back to our apartment, I was all covered in sweat and barely walking. That night, I experienced the most extreme fever in my life, dengue fever. The next few days, all I could think of was how a small insect can turn your life upside down in a second. The symbol of a tiny mosquito carrying a deadly virus turned into a fixed idea. I knew I had to build a story around that concept. A couple of years later, we moved to LA. Since the place itself is quite pricey, I decided to buy myself a bicycle to save some money on gas and parking. I had a meeting scheduled in Arts District. It was my first time cycling through massive, shiny skyscrapers in downtown LA. After a couple of blocks, the scenery started changing. People were lying on the ground, screaming, talking to themselves. As it turned out later, I was passing through Skid Row. Don't get me wrong, I have been in LA several times before, and I was aware of the homelessness epidemic in the US, but there's a massive difference between being isolated in the comfort of your car and actually biking through streets in LA. I had a strong feeling that I needed to write a story about this subject, so I started researching and came across a YouTube channel called Invisible People. The key message in all the homeless people interviews was that a minor problem snowballed them into living rough. I figured that a mosquito bite would be a perfect metaphor. The last thing some people want to do after a hard day at work is to watch a preaching short film about homelessness issues. So my trick was to write a story entertainingly from the beginning and shocking at the end. This way the viewer would have the same unexpected impact as I had cycling through downtown LA.
It's $1 billion city. All these people around here, walking around. You got the guy who makes $100,000 a year. And you got the guy at the grocery store who makes minimum wage. But to life, none of these people matter. All it takes is one tiny disaster